Hey, neighbors, and welcome to American Culture. So, yesterday I told you guys how to deal with burdens. Let them in. You got to lead the way, have your rules and restrictions, but just know you can't go to that level with them anymore. Today, I'm going to focus on how do you genuinely deal with the darkness that's in your life. You see, about maybe 6 years ago, I started on this spiritual journey. And one of the first things I recognized was I didn't know me very well. And after I did finally get to know me after some years of work, I realized nobody else knows me very well either. And so I could stop looking at life as me having some type of a personal experience. I'm experiencing life as a human, but I'm not having a personal experience with anybody or anything. And so the way I started to approach problems was instead of taking it to heart because I didn't have those any space for it there, I started to ask God, what am I here for? What do you need me to do in this situation? Anytime that the darkness would come, I recognized it held value. And so instead of being afraid of it, wanting to run away, say push it under the rug, I would say, God, show me my purpose within this. You see, if we didn't have darkness, you guys, we would never value what light does. Also, if we didn't have darkness and we were only in the light, we would go insane. The darkness serves its purpose. In Christianity, it's where you get rest. It's also like that in life. When the sun goes down, what do? You sleep. And what happens while you sleep and are at rest? You get rejuvenated, you're relaxed, you're all of these re's that takes place. And remember, God is a God of a re. He's a restorer. There's restoration that takes place in darkness. There's rejuvenation. There's rest. And so when you are having those moments when it just seems as though everything is out there falling apart, go to God in that moment of darkness and say, I'm going to rest this with you. I'll tell you guys, I've had a few moments in my life where I'm like, God, you're going to have to do it because I'm not. And believe it or not, that's what God needed to hear and know. He needed me to say, this is bigger than me, God. I'm going to rest and depend on you. Is it beginning to make sense now? How all of that darkness is completely necessary for you to rejuvenate, which is to gain strength, to rest in Him, which is to give Him opportunities to say, I trust you. I believe you. I'm going to be so at peace during this circumstance. It'll be like I'm dreaming through it. And yeah, you guys, I'm not saying that you're going to experience, not going to experience some really, really, really hard things. That's kind of the point of the darkness. You're supposed to, or excuse me, that's kind of the point of living in the light. You're going to be exposed to things. That's what light does. It exposes you to things that you have to deal with, things that you have to work on. And when the darkness comes, give God the opportunity to do His work there. Know that you can rest in Him and actually strengthen those characteristics that you picked up while you were working in the light. I've come to recognize that a lot of people, they have a difficult time understanding the true connectivity and the dynamic between light and dark. Most people get into the dark and say, no, I want to go back to the light. No, you don't. Take your time away from the exposure and deal with whatever it is that you got to do. Relax. The darkness is there to serve its purpose, to allow you to trust in God, rest in Him, rejuvenate yourself, and gain strength. You're not in that period to tear each other apart. There is no each other to tear apart unless you're trying to tear apart one of God's children. So I don't know what that little light is in the corner, but it just distracted me. But that's pretty much it, you guys. When it comes to dealing with dark things, recognize that darkness is 100% necessary in order for you to really appreciate and value the light. The light is going to leave you being able to see everything clearly, living appropriately, but it's also going to create episodes of exposure that are going to show things that need work on. And when you set into that darkened space, that's the time to actually work on those things. Mainly your trust in the Lord, relaxing in Him, handing it over to, allowing yourself to gain some strength and rejuvenation so that when the light does come back on, you can live better. Have a blessed day, you guys.